Do you know the official DVSA truck theory test? The road, let's go. Question 1. What should you do when you overtake a cyclist on a two-way road? A. Give a right turn signal after you've moved out to overtake. B. Go past quickly and move back to the left sharply. C. Leave plenty of room and check your near side mirror before returning to the left. D. Pass closely, staying about 1 metre, 3 feet 3 inches, from the curb. The correct answer is C. Leave plenty of room and check your near side mirror before returning to the left. Only overtake when it's safe to do so, and don't use the size of your vehicle to intimidate approaching traffic. When overtaking a cyclist, leave plenty of room and, before returning to the left, check in your near side mirror to make sure you've passed them safely. Question 2. Your lorry has a curtain-sided body. Your route will take you over several high-level bridges. Why should you check the weather forecast before starting your journey? A. High-level bridges may be closed to certain vehicles in windy weather. B. In hot weather, the bridges might be closed to heavy traffic. C. Rain can make crossing bridges very difficult for large vehicles. D. You won't be able to cross the bridges if it's frosty. The correct answer is A. High-level bridges may be closed to certain vehicles in windy weather. In exposed places, such as high-level bridges, viaducts, or some motorways, high winds can cause the road to be closed to certain vehicles. If you're driving a high-sided vehicle and high winds are forecast, plan an alternative route in case your intended route is closed. Question 3. What should you do when you want to join a motorway where traffic is flowing freely? A. Build up your speed on the slip road before joining the motorway. B. Keep to a low speed until you see a gap on the motorway. C. Stop at the start of the slip road and move off when you see a gap. D. Use the hard shoulder, if necessary, to build up speed. The correct answer is A. Build up your speed on the slip road before joining the motorway. Normally, you should avoid having to stop before joining a motorway. Use the slip road to build up your speed so that you can emerge safely. If it's extremely busy, there may be rare occasions when you have to stop and then filter into the traffic. This is most likely to happen where traffic is queuing, for example, at roadworks. Question 5. What should you do before driving your high-sided lorry in windy weather? A. Check your spray suppression equipment. B. Check your wind deflector. C. Only half-load your lorry. D. Plan your route in advance. The correct answer is D. Plan your route in advance. In high winds, some exposed roads, bridges and viaducts are closed to high-sided vehicles. Plan your route with care and try to avoid these areas. Also, plan an alternative route in case of road closure. Question 5. You're overtaking another lorry. What should you do if you start to lose speed due to an uphill gradient? A. Continue at the same speed and in the same position. B. Ease off and drop behind the vehicle you were trying to overtake. C. Try to force the vehicle you were overtaking to drop back. D. Try to force the vehicle you were overtaking to speed up. The correct answer is B. Ease off and drop behind the vehicle you were trying to overtake. If you try to overtake another vehicle and realize that you're unable to complete the maneuver, ease off the accelerator and drop back behind the vehicle. If the vehicle you're trying to overtake is large, then it will take a long time to pass. You should assess whether you have the time and power to complete the maneuver before you try to overtake. Question 6. How could you reduce the problems caused by a strong side wind when driving an empty curtain-sided vehicle on an exposed bridge? A. Leave both curtains closed. B. Tie both curtains open. C. Tie one curtain open and lock open the rear doors. D. Tie open the curtain on the side the wind's blowing from. The correct answer is B. Tie both curtains open. If you're driving an empty curtain-sided vehicle, you can help to lower the resistance to side wind if you tie the curtains open. The air will then be able to flow across the flatbed of the vehicle. This will reduce any loss of control, particularly when crossing exposed viaducts or bridges. Question 7. When is a high-sided vehicle most affected by side wind? A. When it's being reversed. B. When it's stationary. C. When it's travelling empty. D. When it's travelling loaded. The correct answer C. When it's travelling empty. Take care if you're driving an empty high-sided vehicle when it's windy. Watch for places where the conditions could suddenly change, such as a gap between buildings or when passing under a bridge. Reduce your speed and stay alert for other road users who are also affected by these weather conditions. Question 8. You're driving an empty curtain-sided vehicle. Why might you consider tying the curtains open? A. It's a legal requirement. B. To prevent the curtains from tearing. C. To reduce the effect of side wind. D. To use less fuel. The correct answer is C. To reduce the effect of side wind. Closed curtains on large empty vehicles can hold the wind. Strong side wind can blow a semi-trailer off course and, in severe cases, can blow the whole vehicle over onto its side. To reduce the risk of this happening, you should tie the curtains open. Question 9. When will a box van be most affected by side wind? A. When reversing. B. When stationary. C. When travelling empty. D. When travelling fully laden. The correct answer is C. When travelling empty. High-sided vehicles such as box vans are affected by side wind, particularly when they're empty. Drivers should slow down and stay alert for other road users affected by the windy conditions. Question 10. You're driving a lorry towards a high bridge on a windy day. What should you expect? A. Changed weight limits. B. Lane closures. C. Minimum speed limits. D. No restrictions for lorries. The correct answer is B, lane closures. In windy weather, exposed stretches of road may have lane closures, or there may be diversions for some types of vehicle. Consider this when you're planning your journey. Delays will add to your driving time. Question 11. Which of these vehicles is most at risk from strong side wind? A laden lorry with box body. B, a laden lorry with platform body. C, an unladen lorry with box body. D, an unladen lorry with platform body. The correct answer is C, an unladen lorry with box body. An unladen vehicle that also has high sides will be vulnerable to the effects of strong side wind. An evenly distributed load will help to keep the vehicle more stable, but the higher the vehicle is, the more it will be affected. Be aware that such a vehicle may become unstable or difficult to control in windy conditions. Question 12. Buffeting when you overtake, so allow them plenty of RO. In strong winds, an overtaking lorry can cause additional air turbulence that can affect other road users. Which vehicle is most at risk from this turbulence? A car. B, a coach. C, a delivery van. D, a motorcycle. The correct answer is D, a motorcycle. Vehicles such as motorcycles, bicycles, and caravans could be blown off course by strong winds. You should be aware that your vehicle could cause additional Question 13. Which vehicle is most at risk in windy conditions? A, high-sided lorry. B, saloon car. C, single-deck bus. D, tractor unit. The correct answer is A, high-sided lorry. High-sided vehicles are severely affected by side wind because of the large surface area of the bodywork. The risk of loss of control is increased if the vehicle is unladen. Question 14. When are air deflectors most effective? A, when reversing. B, when there's a headwind. C, when there's a side wind. D, when there's a strong tailwind. The correct answer is B, when there's a headwind. Air deflectors reduce wind resistance by streamlining the vehicle. They're most effective when there's a headwind. The streamlining also reduces the vehicle's fuel consumption. Question 15. You're driving your lorry on the motorway. What should you do when visibility is reduced by heavy rain and spray? A, double your dry weather separation distance. B, maintain a constant speed. C, stay in the left-hand lane. D, use main beam headlights. The correct answer is A, double your dry weather separation distance. Rain makes the road surface slippery and reduces tire grip. Doubling your separation distance should allow you the extra time and space you'll need to slow down and stop safely. Question 16. What should you do before driving your lorry away from a wet construction site at the side of a motorway? A, drain the air tanks. B, hose down the wheels. C, set your tachograph to other work. D. Turn on your amber beacon. The correct answer is B. Hose down the wheels. Before leaving a construction site, check your vehicle for mud and for debris wedged between double rear wheels. It's important that you prevent any mud or debris from being deposited on the road, where it could be a danger to other road users. Question 17. You're driving a lorry from a wet construction site onto a motorway. Why must you take extra precautions before leaving the site? A. It's an offence to deposit mud on a road. B. It's an offence to emerge from a work site onto a motorway. C. Your lorry's spray suppression equipment will be inoperative. D. Your view from the cab will be obscured by plant machinery. The correct answer is A. It's an offence to deposit mud on a road. You should take precautions against dropping mud on the road because it's a hazard to other road users. It's also an offence for which you could be prosecuted. Question 18. What ground conditions are suitable for a tipper lorry to tip its load? A. Soft and downhill. B. Soft and level. C. Solid and level. D. Solid and uphill. The correct answer is C. Solid and level. When discharging a load from a tipper vehicle, the centre of gravity is raised as the tipper body rises. To avoid the vehicle rolling over, it's vital that it's positioned on a level, solid surface before the tipper mechanism is engaged. Question 19. You're driving a lorry of more than 7.5 tons maximum authorised mass along a motorway. When can you use the right-hand lane to overtake? A. When the motorway has 3 lanes. B. When the motorway has 2 lanes. C. When there's a 40 miles per hour speed limit. D. When there's a 50 miles per hour speed limit. The correct answer is B. When the motorway has 2 lanes. You may use the right-hand lane to overtake on a 2-lane motorway. Lorries weighing more than 7.5 tons, vehicles that are required to be fitted with speed limiters, and vehicles towing trailers aren't allowed to use the right-hand lane of a motorway with 3 or more lanes, except in special circumstances. Question 20. You're driving on a motorway. You look in your mirrors and see smoke coming from your rear tyres. What should you do? A. Drive on the hard shoulder until the smoke stops. B. Ignore it. This is normal when driving at speed. C. Reduce speed for the rest of your journey. D. Stop as soon as it's safe to do so. The correct answer is D. Stop as soon as it's safe to do so. A tyre may burst or shred if it overheats. This could result in serious loss of control. Stop on the hard shoulder as soon as it's safe to do so and call for help. Question 21. You're on a wet level road, driving at 50 miles per hour. What's the minimum time gap you should leave between your vehicle and the one in front? A. 4 seconds. B. 1 second. C. 3 seconds. D. 2 seconds. The correct answer is A, 4 seconds. The usual advice is to leave a minimum time gap of 2 seconds, but on wet roads, you should leave at least double that time. Always take the road and weather conditions into account when you're driving. Question 22. You're driving an articulated lorry on a 3-lane motorway. When can you drive in the right-hand lane? A. If no speed limiter is fitted to your lorry. B. If your lorry is unladen. C. When overtaking a slow-moving car in the middle lane. D. When the escort vehicle of an oversized load signals you to pass. The correct answer is D, when the escort vehicle of an oversized load signals you to pass. Articulated lorries aren't allowed to drive in the right-hand lane of motorways with 3 or more lanes. The only exceptions are when an escort vehicle gives you a signal, when road signs indicate, or when directed by a police officer. You're driving on a motorway and it's raining heavily. What should you do when spray is causing poor visibility? A. Remove spray suppression equipment. B. Use dipped headlights. C. Use side lights only. D. Use the 2-second rule. Question 23. The correct answer is B. Use dipped headlights. Whenever visibility is reduced, use dipped headlights to make your vehicle easier to see. During and after heavy rain, you should also reduce speed and increase your distance from the vehicle in front. Question 29. What might happen if using the brakes continuously causes them to overheat? A. The air pressure will increase. B. The brake pedal will become stiff. C. The brakes will be less effective. D. The brakes will work better. The correct answer is C. The brakes will be less effective. Whenever you brake, the brakes convert the moving energy of your vehicle into heat. Continuous use of the brakes, particularly from high speed or on long steep descents, can cause the shoes and drums to overheat. This will make them less effective, and in some cases they may not work at all. Question 25. What do you need to be careful of when you're driving in high winds? A. A risk of grounding. B. Fallen trees. C. Poor visibility. D. Steep gradients. The correct answer is B. Fallen trees. Question 26. What do you need to be aware of when you drive over an exposed suspension bridge? A. The effect of strong side wind. B. The overhanging bridge cables. C. The swaying of the bridge. D. The width of the lanes. The correct answer is A. The effect of strong side wind. On exposed bridges, the wind can be particularly strong. If the bridge has 2 lanes, one may be closed in windy conditions to act as a buffer lane. In severe conditions, these bridges are often closed to high-sided vehicles, caravans and motorcycles. Question 27. You're driving through the night. What could it mean if your steering feels lighter than normal? A. There isn't enough tread on your tyres. B. There's a leak in the power steering pump. C. There's ice or frost on the road. D. Your tyres are losing pressure. The correct answer is C. There's ice or frost on the road. When you're in a warm cab, you may not notice the drop in outside temperature. One of the first signs of an icy road is a lack of feel in the steering. If this happens, slow down and increase the distance between your vehicle and the one in front. Question 28. You're in the centre lane of a motorway, overtaking another vehicle. What should you do before returning to the left-hand lane? A. Check ahead and then your near-side mirror. B. Check behind for fast traffic in the right-hand lane. C. Signal left, then check your mirror. D. Wait for the other driver to flash their headlights. The correct answer is A. Check ahead and then your near-side mirror. Never return to the left-hand lane until you're sure that you're well clear of the vehicle you've just overtaken. Don't cut in too soon and don't rely on the other driver flashing you in. Make your own judgment about when it's safe to move into the left-hand lane. Question 29. What should you do as you approach a zebra crossing? A. Be prepared to stop in good time. B. Sound the horn and flash headlights. C. Stop before the zigzag lines. D. Wave pedestrians across the road. The correct answer is A. Be prepared to stop in good time. Always keep your speed down as you approach a zebra crossing. This will allow you to stop safely if necessary. Look well ahead for anyone about to reach the crossing or waiting to cross. Question 30. You're driving a high-sided vehicle on a motorway. You should anticipate the effects of side wind. When is this most likely to happen? A. In contraflow systems. B. In service areas. C. In service areas. D. When passing signs. The correct answer is C. In service areas. Motorways often have exposed sections of road, placing high-sided vehicles at risk in side wind. When there are extremes of weather, listen to and watch out for weather forecasts. That way, you can plan your journey for the safest time or make a decision on whether you should travel at all. Question 31. You're driving a high-sided vehicle in very windy conditions. Where should you avoid travelling? A. Across suspension bridges. B. Along country lanes. C. Through road tunnels. D. Up steep hills. The correct answer is A. Across suspension bridges. In windy weather, try to avoid routes where you would have to drive across suspension bridges and other exposed stretches of road. Plan a route that takes you across lower ground and where you'll be less exposed. Question 32. You're driving in heavy rain. What should you do if your steering suddenly feels very light? A. Brake very sharply. B. Ease off the accelerator. C. Increase your speed. D. Steer towards the centre line. The correct answer is B. ease off the accelerator. In wet conditions, water can build up between your tires and the road surface. This is known as aquaplaning, and it will cause your vehicle to slide. Try to regain control by easing off the accelerator to gradually lose speed. Don't brake or steer until your tires are gripping the road again. Question 33. Why should you be especially aware of parked cars when you're driving at night? A. The drivers may be drunk. B. There are more of them. C. They can park without lights. D. They're more likely to move off. The correct answer is C. They can park without lights. Vehicles below 2,500 kilograms laden weight may park without lights on roads with a speed limit no greater than 30 miles per hour. In dark streets, you may not be able to see them clearly. Question 34. You're waiting at a T-junction. What should you do if you see a vehicle is coming from the right with its left indicator flashing? A. Move out and accelerate hard. B. Move out slowly. C. Pull out before the vehicle reaches the junction. D. Wait until the vehicle starts to turn in. The correct answer is D. Wait until the vehicle starts to turn in. Try to anticipate the actions of other road users. When you're waiting at a junction, don't emerge until you're sure of their intentions. Their signals might be misleading. Question 35. You're driving along a motorway and see this sign. What does it mean? A. Only lorries and buses are allowed to use that lane. B. There's a long uphill gradient ahead. C. There's a steep downhill section ahead. D. Vehicles fitted with speed limiters must use that lane. The correct answer is B. There's a long uphill gradient ahead. Question 36. You're about to pass this car. What's the main hazard you should be aware of? A. Its alarm may be activated. B. Sunlight reflecting off the car windscreen. C. The driver's door may suddenly open. D. The narrow pavement on the right. The correct answer is C. The driver's door may suddenly open. You don't know what the driver of this car will do. Be prepared for any hazard. The driver may not have seen you. Planning ahead will allow you to be in the correct gear and at the correct speed to cope if this hazard develops. Question 37. What should you do when you park your vehicle on a two-way road at night? A. Park underneath a street lamp. B. Put a traffic cone behind your vehicle. C. Switch off all lights. D. Use the parking lights. The correct answer is D. Use the parking lights. Large vehicles are required by law to use parking lights when parked at night, unless in a designated off-road parking area. Also, unless you're in a one-way street, you must only park on the left-hand side. It's generally much better to park off-road if you can, particularly if you're going to be stationary for a long period of time. Question 38. When would weight transference be most likely to occur? A. When you're cornering. B. When you're loading. C. When you're overtaking. D. When you're reversing. The correct answer is A. When you're cornering. Question 39. How will gravity affect a laden vehicle going downhill? A. More braking effort will be required. B. Stopping distances will be decreased. C. The load will be more stable. D. The vehicle will use more fuel. The correct answer is A. More braking effort will be required. Always plan ahead and take note of gradient warning signs. On downhill gradients, you can help control your vehicle's speed and avoid brake fade by selecting a lower gear in good time. Question 40. Long vehicles sometimes need to straddle lanes. A. When coming to contraflow systems. B. When driving on motorways. C. When travelling empty. D. When turning at tight junctions. The correct answer is D. When turning at tight junctions. When driving a long vehicle around corners, it's sometimes necessary to adopt a different road position to avoid mounting the curb or colliding with street furniture such as lampposts or traffic signs. Other road users may not understand what you intend to do next. Watch them carefully and always signal in good time. Question 41. What should you do when you drive in windy weather? Always keep to your intended route. Anticipate how the weather may affect other road users. Maintain a constant speed in exposed areas. Stay close to smaller or vulnerable vehicles as you overtake them. The correct answer is B. Anticipate how the weather may affect other road users. Cyclists, motorcyclists, caravans and high-sided vehicles can be very vulnerable in high winds. Plan well ahead and consider the difficulties they may be having. Remember, some routes may be closed to certain vehicles and you may need to use an alternative route. Question 42. High-sided vehicles can be affected by side wind. On which type of road is this most likely? A. Motorway underpasses. B. Narrow country lanes. C. Open roads. D. Slip roads. The correct answer is C. Open roads. You should take account of the weather forecast when you plan your route. You're most likely to be subjected to side wind on exposed routes, for example on long bridges, open roads and exposed stretches of motorway. Question 43. Where would you anticipate problems when you're driving a high-sided vehicle on a windy day? A. In dead ground. B. In road tunnels. C. On high-level roads. D. On ring roads. The correct answer is C. On high-level roads. Listen to the weather forecast and plan your route to avoid exposed or high-level roads if windy weather is expected. Question 44. Which vehicle is least likely to be affected by high wind? Picture A. Picture B, Picture C, Picture D. The correct answer is B. The car is the most stable of the vehicles shown. However, all vehicles are affected by side wind and buffeting from larger vehicles. Be aware that your speed and road position could cause unnecessary turbulence when passing smaller vehicles. Question 45. What's a buffer lane? A lane for overtaking safely. B, a lane to park in until the wind drops. C, a safety lane for vehicles blown off course. D, the only lane to be used in high winds. The correct answer is C, a safety lane for vehicles blown off course. During high winds, one of the lanes on a high bridge might be closed to traffic to create a buffer lane. The buffer lane is kept free to prevent vehicles from being blown into the path of other road users in the next lane. The closure of this lane may cause traffic congestion and delay. Question 46. Where would you expect to find buffer lanes? A, in built-up areas. B, in roadworks. C, on country roads. D, on high-level bridges. The correct answer is D, on high-level bridges. Buffer lanes are often found in places that are frequently subjected to high winds. Examples include high-level bridges, high-level roads, exposed viaducts, and exposed stretches of motorway. Listen to the weather forecast, which should tell you of any need to replan your route. Question 47. When is a buffer lane most likely to be in use? A, when it's foggy. B, when it's icy. C, when it's raining. D, when it's windy. The correct answer is D, when it's windy. A buffer lane is used when the wind begins to cause a risk to high-sided vehicles. At other times, it will be a normal lane. Don't use the buffer lane unless your vehicle has been blown off course into the lane, or you need to use it to avoid an incident or collision. Question 48. What's the best way to control your vehicle when driving on snow? A, drive in your vehicle's lowest gear. B, drive slowly in a higher gear than normal. C, keep the engine revs high and slip the clutch. D, keep the engine revs high and spin the wheels. The correct answer, B, drive slowly in a higher gear than normal. Driving slowly will give you better control of your vehicle. By using a high gear, you reduce the chance of your wheels spinning and skidding on the snow. Question 49. You're driving a large vehicle in gusty conditions. Which vehicle is most likely to be affected by buffeting when you overtake it? A, a car. B, a flatbed lorry. C, a loaded tanker. D, a motorcycle. The correct answer is D, a motorcycle. The lighter the vehicle, the more likely it is to be affected by the buffeting from your vehicle in windy weather. Give motorcyclists and cyclists extra room when you overtake them, as your vehicle's draft can easily upset their control and balance. Question 50. It's very windy and you're overtaking a motorcyclist on a motorway. What should you be aware of that may cause them problems? A. The buffeting effect. B. The tyre noise. C. Your engine noise. D. Your exhaust smoke. The correct answer is A. The buffeting effect. A. Give them plenty of room. Watch carefully in your near side mirror, as the high winds and the buffeting effect from your vehicle may blow them off course. Question 51. Why should you be aware of motorcyclists on a motorway when there are gusty winds? A. They may be blown into your path. B. They may leave at the next exit. C. They may position to turn right. D. They may suddenly stop on the hard shoulder. The correct answer is A. They may be blown into your path. On motorways, there are often exposed stretches of road where vulnerable vehicles can be affected by side wind. A gust of wind can even blow a motorcyclist out of their lane. Try to anticipate how the wind may affect others and give them plenty of room. Question 52. Which road users are most at danger from the turbulence from your vehicle? A. Car drivers towing caravans. B. Coach drivers. C. Lorry drivers. D. Tractor drivers. The correct answer is A. Car drivers towing caravans. Remember that the buffeting caused by large vehicles can affect other road users, including cars towing caravans, motorcyclists. Question 53. Which road users are most likely to be affected by the turbulence created by large vehicles travelling at speed? A. Drivers of emergency vehicles. B. Drivers of low loaders. C. Drivers of tankers. D. Drivers towing caravans. The correct answer is D. Drivers towing caravans. Caravans are relatively light but have a large surface area. This makes them vulnerable to the turbulence created by large vehicles travelling at speed. The blast of air can destabilise the caravan, causing it to snake, and in extreme cases they can be blown over. Question 54. You're overtaking a motorcycle in windy conditions. Why should you check your near side mirror? A. To check that it's properly adjusted. B. To check your road position. C. To see if other vehicles have been affected. D. To see if the rider is in control of their motorcycle. The correct answer is D. To see if the rider is in control of their motorcycle, you must check the near side mirror during and after overtaking a motorcyclist. Make sure that the rider is still in control and that your vehicle's draft hasn't caused them to lose their balance. Question 55. Which vehicles are most likely to be affected by high winds? A. Curtain-sided vehicles. B. Front-wheel drive vehicles. C. Slow-moving vehicles. D. Track-laying vehicles. The correct answer is A, curtain-sided vehicles. In very windy conditions, certain types of vehicle can be blown off the course. These include box vans, curtain-siders, caravans and motorcycles. Make allowances for how the wind might affect these vehicles, especially if you're overtaking. Question 56. You're driving a high-sided vehicle on a motorway. Where should you be especially aware of the effects of side wind? A. Across viaducts. B. In cuttings. C. Passing large signs. D. Through tunnels. The correct answer is A. Across viaducts. On motorways, be especially careful when driving over bridges and viaducts. The road here is exposed, and in windy weather there's a risk of strong side wind, which may blow you off course or even blow your vehicle over. In severe windy weather, these routes are often closed to drivers of high-sided vehicles. Question 57. You're on a motorway and the surface is still wet after rain. Why should you take care when you're overtaking? A. Other vehicles will have their lights on. B. The road may still be slippery. C. Vehicles may be parked on the hard shoulder. D. Wet roads may cause more buffeting. The correct answer is B. The road may still be slippery. Rain, combined with oil, rubber particles, dirt and debris on the road surface, reduces the tyre's grip on the road. It can be especially slippery when it rains after a long dry spell. Question 58. It's raining. Why would a motorcyclist steer around drain covers on a bend? A. To avoid puncturing the tyres. B. To avoid splashing pedestrians. C. To improve their view around the bend. D. To reduce the risk of skidding. The correct answer is D. To reduce the risk of skidding. Drain covers usually have a metal surface. When wet, these covers are slippery and can cause a motorcycle to skid. Be prepared for riders to avoid them. Question 59. What's the minimum distance you should allow for braking when it's raining heavily? A. 5 times the normal distance. B. The normal distance. C. 3 times the normal distance. D. Twice the normal distance. The correct answer is D. Twice the normal distance. If you're travelling in heavy rain, you should be aware that it could take twice as long for you to stop as it would in dry weather. Increase your distance from the vehicle in front to allow for the longer stopping distance. Question 60. You're driving on a motorway. What should you do if your view ahead is restricted by heavy spray? A. Leave the motorway at the next exit. B. Move into the lane on the right. C. Switch on your dipped headlights. D. Use the 2-second rule. The correct answer is C. Switch on your dipped headlights. If you're travelling on a motorway and your view ahead is poor, then you should reduce your speed. Leave at least 4 seconds between your vehicle and the one in front, and make sure that others can see you by using your dipped headlights. Question 61. What's the greatest risk to your safety when you're overtaking on a motorway in very wet weather? A. Your braking distance may be reduced. B. Your engine may get flooded. C. Your steering may become heavy. D. Your tyres may lose grip. The correct answer is D. Your tyres may lose grip. In very wet conditions, tyres may be unable to clear all the water from their path. This can result in a layer of water building up between the road and the tyre, a situation known as aquaplaning. To regain control, ease off the accelerator and, as the vehicle slows, the tyres should regain their grip. It's safer to reduce the risk of aquaplaning occurring by driving more slowly in very wet weather. Question 62. What should you be aware of when you're overtaking on a motorway while it's raining heavily? A. Manhole covers will be slippery. B. There'll be distracting bright reflections. C. Visibility will be reduced by spray from traffic. D. Your braking distances will be reduced. The correct answer is C. Visibility will be reduced by spray from traffic. Other road users can be affected by the spray from large vehicles, severely reducing their vision. Always take care when you need to change lanes. Signal in good time and watch your mirrors carefully before pulling out in these conditions. Question 63. Why can visibility be worse when driving at high speed in wet weather? A. Drivers bunch together when it's raining. B. Headlights will dazzle you more easily. C. More spray will be thrown up. D. Windscreen wipers obstruct your view. The correct answer is C. More spray will be thrown up. Higher speeds will cause more spray to be thrown up by vehicles' tyres, particularly the tyres of larger vehicles and trailers. Always use dipped headlights in poor visibility caused by rain and spray. Question 64. What should you do if you intend to overtake a lorry that's throwing up spray? A. Get much closer before moving out. B. Move out earlier than normal. C. Wait for the lorry to slow down on a hill. D. Wait until the other driver gives a left signal. The correct answer is B. Move out earlier than normal. If you wish to overtake a vehicle that's throwing up spray, move out earlier than normal. This will help to limit the reduction in vision that the rear spray will cause before you pass. Question 65. You're driving in wet weather. What effect will faulty spray suppression equipment have on other drivers? A. Their vision will be increased. B. Their vision will be reduced. C. They'll be able to overtake more easily. D. They'll need to use intermittent wipers. The correct answer is B. Their vision will be reduced. Spray suppression equipment reduces the amount of spray thrown up to other road users. Check the equipment regularly to make sure it's secure and undamaged. Question 66. Why are brushes fitted to this vehicle's wheel arch? A. To clear mud from the tyres on building sites. B. To reduce spray on wet roads. C. To remove objects from the tire tread. D. To stop snow building up behind the wheel. The correct answer is B. To reduce spray on wet roads. The brushes are part of a spray suppression system. They reduce the amount of water thrown up at the sides and rear of the vehicle. Check them regularly for security. If they become worn, make sure they're replaced. Question 67. When should you check your vehicle's spray suppression equipment? A. Before setting out on every journey. B. Once per year before the MOT test. C. Only as part of a pre-winter check. D. Only when you'll be using a motorway. The correct answer is A. Before setting out on every journey. You should always check all your spray suppression equipment before a journey. Don't ignore it just because it's dry when you set out. The weather can change on the way. Question 68. What component fitted to your vehicle will help following drivers in wet weather? A. Catalytic converter. B. Side panel skirts. C. Spray reducers. D. Wind deflectors. The correct answer is C. Spray reducers. Spray reducers or spray suppression equipment are attachments fitted around the wheel arches of large vehicles. They effectively trap spray thrown up from the wheels, which would otherwise reduce visibility for other road users. Question 69. This vehicle is fitted with spray suppression equipment. In what weather conditions will it be most useful? A. Fog. B. Rain. C. Snow. D. Wind. The correct answer is B. Rain. The spray suppression equipment helps to prevent water from being thrown up and causing reduced visibility for you and other drivers. Driving at a reduced speed in wet conditions will also help to reduce the amount of water thrown up by your vehicle's tires. Question 70. How should you drive through floodwater? A. As quickly as possible to cause the least delay. B. At normal speed when you have spray reducers fitted. C. Slowly in a high gear with engine speed low. D. Slowly in a low gear with engine speed high. The correct answer is D. Slowly in a low gear with engine speed high. It's important to use a low gear and keep the engine speed high to prevent water from entering the engine through the exhaust system. In these circumstances, it may be necessary to slip the clutch to keep the road speed as low as possible. Question 71. You're on a motorway approaching a working snowplow. Why should you stay behind it? A. It's illegal to overtake snowplows. B. Snowplows are left-hand drive only. C. There may be deep snow ahead. D. Your speed could cause snow to drift behind. The correct answer is C. There may be deep snow ahead. There's no way of knowing how deep the snow could be ahead. If you overtake and then become stuck in the snow, you may cause problems for the snowplow, particularly if you block the road. Question 72. You're driving in heavy rain. Why do you need to increase your distance from the vehicle in front? A. To allow for an increased stopping distance. B. To let other motorists move into the gap. C. To prevent rain from entering the vehicle's braking system. D. To reduce the risk of water spraying into the filters. The correct answer is A. To allow for an increased stopping distance. Extra care is needed when driving in heavy rain. Reduce your speed and switch on dipped headlights. Tyres will have less grip on a wet road, and it will take up to twice the distance to stop when compared with good dry conditions. Question 73. You're driving a large vehicle in heavy rain on a motorway. You slow down to reduce the risk of aquaplaning. For what other reason should you slow down? A. To force other drivers to act properly and slow down. B. To prevent water from entering the braking system. C. To reduce the amount of spray thrown up. D. To stop the electrics getting wet. The correct answer is C. To reduce the amount of spray thrown up. Driving at high speed on a wet motorway can throw up dense spray, making it very difficult for other drivers to see ahead. Driving more slowly reduces the amount of spray, and this makes it safer for other drivers. Question 74. You're driving on a motorway in heavy rain. When are you allowed to use high-intensity rear fog lights? A. Only when the national speed limit applies. B. Only when you're being followed closely by other traffic. C. When visibility is more than 100 metres, 328 feet. D. When visibility is reduced to 100 metres, 328 feet, or less. The correct answer is D. When visibility is reduced to 100 metres, 328 feet, or less. Heavy rain and the resulting spray from large vehicles travelling at speed can seriously affect visibility on the motorway. Reduce your speed and use your headlights. Don't use high-intensity rear lights unless visibility is reduced to 100 metres, 328 feet, or less. Question 75. You're driving on a motorway in heavy rain. What could cause your steering to become unresponsive? A. Braking gently and in good time. B. Tyres becoming hotter in the bad weather. C. Water entering the braking system. D. Water reducing the tyre's grip on the road. The, The correct answer is D. Water reducing the tyre's grip on the road. If a build-up of water prevents the tyres from gripping the road, the steering can become unresponsive. If this happens, ease off the accelerator and slow down gradually. Question 76. You're driving downhill. How will this affect your vehicle? A. It will be easier to change direction. B. It will increase fuel consumption. C. It will need more engine power. D. It will take longer to stop. The correct answer is D. It will take longer to stop. When driving downhill, gravity will cause the vehicle to increase speed. More braking effort will be required, and stopping distances will increase. Question 77. The road is wet. Why should you slow down as you approach this pedestrian? A. Because there are no road markings. B. Because they have priority. C. To avoid splashing them. D. To encourage them to cross. The correct answer is C. To avoid splashing them. When the roads are wet, have consideration for pedestrians walking or standing near the curb. Question 78. Why is tailgating dangerous? A. You're likely to be distracted. B. Your engine will overheat. C. Your view ahead is reduced. D. Your view to the rear is reduced. The correct answer is C. Your view ahead is reduced. Tailgating is very dangerous because there isn't enough room to stop if an emergency arises. It's also intimidating for the driver that you're following. Question 79. When may you use your vehicle's hazard warning lights while it's moving? A. When one of your lights has failed. B. When you need to reverse for some distance. C. When you're on a motorway and traffic ahead slows suddenly. D. When you've just overtaken another vehicle. The correct answer is C. When you're on a motorway and traffic ahead slows suddenly. While moving, hazard warning lights may only be used on a motorway or unrestricted dual carriageway to warn drivers behind of a need to slow down due to a hazard ahead. Question 80. You're driving in town and see these lights flashing. What would you expect to see ahead? A. Children crossing the road. B. Contraflow system. C. Roadworks ahead. D. Uneven road surface. The correct answer is A. Children crossing the road. These lights warn that children are likely to be crossing the road on their way to and from school. Slow down and watch out for them. Question 81. Where are these lights found? A. Near a fire station. B. Near a school. C. On approach to a level crossing. D. On approach to a motorway. The correct answer is B. Near a school. Flashing amber lights are found near schools. They warn you that children are likely to be crossing the road on their way to and from school. Drive slowly until you're clear of the area. Question 82. What problem may you have when driving at night? A. It takes longer to stop. B. It's more difficult to keep to speed limits. C. There'll be an increase in traffic. D. You'll have reduced visibility. The correct answer is D. You'll have reduced visibility. You must be able to stop safely in the distance that you can see to be clear ahead. This will be the distance illuminated by your headlights or by street lights, and will generally be less than you can see in daylight. Question 83. Why should you take extra care when overtaking at night? A. Every driver will normally be tired. B. Large vehicles are subject to a 10% speed reduction. C. Most towns aren't adequately lit. D. Speed and distance are harder to judge. The correct answer is D. Speed and distance are harder to judge. In the darkness, it will be difficult to assess the road ahead, especially if there are bends or hills, which may prevent you from seeing oncoming vehicles. Question 84. You're driving along a motorway in thick fog at night. The reflective studs are red on your left and white on your right. Which lane are you in? A. The hard shoulder. B. The left-hand lane. C. The middle lane. D. The right-hand lane. The correct answer is B. The left-hand lane. The red studs on your left indicate the edge of the hard shoulder, while the white studs are used between the lanes. Using more than one reference point will help you to be certain of your position. Question 85. You're driving in the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway. What should you check for before moving into the middle lane to overtake a slower vehicle? A. Traffic ahead moving into the right-hand lane. B. Traffic behind in the right-hand lane, returning to the middle lane. C. Traffic behind that's trying to pass on your left. D. Traffic that's intending to leave at the next exit. The correct answer is B. Traffic behind in the right-hand lane, returning to the middle lane. Traffic behind that's returning from the right-hand lane is a hazard to be aware of before you move into the middle lane to overtake. Checking your blind spot can help you see these vehicles before you commit to changing lanes. Question 86. What should you do before changing lanes to overtake on a motorway? A. Change to a lower gear. B. Check your mirrors carefully. C. Increase your speed gently. D. Look over your left shoulder. The correct answer is B. Check your mirrors carefully. Check your mirrors to make sure that it's safe to overtake. Remember that traffic coming up behind will be travelling at a faster speed. Question 87. Which lane should you use when you're driving on a clear motorway at the speed limit for your vehicle? A. Any lane. B. The left-hand lane. C. The middle lane. D. The right-hand lane. The correct answer is B. The left-hand lane. You should remain in the left-hand lane unless you're overtaking other vehicles. Don't be inconsiderate and stay in the centre lane or other overtaking lanes when you've finished overtaking. Question 88. You're driving in the left-hand lane of a motorway. What should you do when you see a large vehicle merging from a slip road ahead? A. Be ready to adjust your speed. B. Leave the other vehicle to adjust its speed. C. Stay at the maximum speed allowed for your vehicle. D. Try to race and get ahead of it. The correct answer is A. Be ready to adjust your speed. It's not always possible for drivers in the left-hand lane to change lanes to let joining traffic merge. However, you should be ready to adjust your speed to help the joining driver merge safely. Question 89. You're driving at the speed limit in the left-hand lane of a motorway. What should you do if you see lorries merging from a slip road ahead? A. Brake heavily and let them merge. B. Expect them to stop and let you pass. C. Move to the next lane if it's safe. D. Try to accelerate past them. The correct answer is C. Move to the next lane if it's safe. Only change lanes if doing so won't inconvenience another road user. Merging drivers have a responsibility to give way, if necessary, and not force their way onto the main carriageway. Planning ahead will ensure you're prepared to deal with these situations. Question 90. Why should you take care before moving into the centre lane of a 3-lane motorway? A. The bridge height clearance will be less in the centre lane. B. The centre lane is narrower than the left-hand lane. C. The reflective studs may be missing in the centre lane. D. Traffic in the centre lane may be travelling much faster than you. The correct answer is D. Traffic in the centre lane may be travelling much faster than you. Always indicate your intentions in good time. This will allow others time to alter their speed and course if necessary. Always check your blind spots before changing lanes. Question 91. When may vehicles over 7.5 tonnes maximum authorised mass (MAM) use the right-hand lane of a motorway to overtake? A. When other vehicles are turning right. B. When the motorway has 3 lanes. C. When the motorway has 2 lanes. D. When vehicles are stopped on the hard shoulder. The correct answer is C. When the motorway has 2 lanes. Goods and passenger vehicles with a MAM of more than 7.5 tonnes, those required to be fitted with a speed limiter, and vehicles towing trailers must not use the right-hand lane on a motorway with more than 2 lanes unless there are exceptional circumstances. Question 92. You've just overtaken another vehicle on a motorway. What should you avoid when moving back to the left? A. Changing gear. B. Cutting in. C. Increasing your speed. D. Signalling. The correct answer is B. Cutting in. After overtaking, check your near side mirror carefully before moving back to the left. Don't rely on the other driver flashing their headlights because only you can make the decision that it's safe. Question 93. What's a crawler lane for? A. To enable emergency vehicles to get quickly to the scene of an incident. B. To enable large vehicles to park out of the way. C. To enable other traffic to overtake on the near side. D. To enable slow-moving traffic to move further over to the left on uphill gradients. The correct answer is D. To enable slow-moving traffic to move further over to the left on uphill gradients. On a motorway where there's a long uphill gradient, there may be a crawler lane. This helps the traffic to flow by making an extra lane available on the left for slower, heavy vehicles. Question 94. What does this motorway sign mean? A. You're approaching a lorries only lane. B. You're approaching a long downhill slope. C. You're approaching a long uphill slope. D. You're approaching a service area. The correct answer is C. You're approaching a long uphill slope. The term crawler lane doesn't mean the lane is only for extremely slow vehicles. It's advising you of an extra lane on the left. Crawler lanes are usually built on sections of road where the length of the gradient is such that some large vehicles will be slowed to the point where they become a hazard for other road users. Question 95. When should you use a crawler lane? A. When letting faster traffic overtake you. B. When parking to have a rest. C. When slowing down for a motorway exit. D. When turning right from a major road. The correct answer is A. When letting faster traffic overtake you. Many vehicles are very powerful and can maintain speed even when climbing a gradient. Even if your vehicle is capable of maintaining speed, you can still use the crawler lane to make it easier for other road users to overtake safely. Question 96. What should you do before overtaking on a single carriageway road? A. Drive very close to the vehicle in front. B. Flash your headlights at oncoming traffic. C. Look ahead for road junctions. D. Make a final check in your left-hand mirror. The correct answer is C. Look ahead for road junctions. Before overtaking, you need to make sure it's safe to carry out the maneuver. As part of your check, look well ahead for road junctions. You shouldn't overtake as you approach a road junction because if a vehicle emerges or has to wait to turn, you could risk a collision. Question 97. When shouldn't you overtake? A. When the speed limit has been reduced. B. When you would have to break the speed limit. C. When you're approaching motorway slip roads. D. When your view of the road ahead is clear. The correct answer is B. When you would have to break the speed limit. Never commit yourself to overtaking unless you're absolutely certain that you have the time and space to complete the maneuver safely. Don't take any risks that will endanger other road users. Question 98. You've just overtaken another large vehicle. How do you know when it's safe to move back to the near side lane? A. By checking your near side mirror. B. By moving to the near side, hoping the other vehicle will slow down. C. By using your hazard warning lights as a signal. D. By waiting for the driver you've overtaken to flash their headlights. The correct answer is A. By checking your near side mirror. While overtaking, you'll need to judge carefully when to return to the near side lane. Check your left-hand near side mirror to make sure the rear of your vehicle is well clear. You should allow for the length of both vehicles and take into account the speed difference. Don't cut in too soon on the vehicle you've overtaken, and don't rely on signals from other drivers. They may be signaling to someone else. Question 99. You're driving on a dual carriageway and intend to overtake the vehicle ahead. What should you do if there's a car approaching quickly behind you in the right-hand lane? A. Move up closer to the slower vehicle. B. Signal left while waiting for the car to pass. C. Signal right and move out. D. Stay behind the slower vehicle. The correct answer is D. Stay behind the slower vehicle. You should allow the faster-moving vehicle to overtake safely. If you pull out to overtake at this time, you'll cause the car behind to brake sharply. Don't use the size of your vehicle to intimidate. Be professional and show consideration to other road users. Question 100. What should you do after overtaking on a dual carriageway? A. Indicate left, then right. B. Move back to the left when it's safe to do so. C. Switch your rear lights on and off. D. Wait for the other driver to flash their headlights. The correct answer is B. Move back to the left when it's safe to do so. Signal if necessary and move back to the left as soon as it's safe to do so. Don't drive for long distances in the centre or right-hand lane unnecessarily. Question 101. You're driving a long vehicle and want to turn right at a roundabout ahead. How should you signal if you need to occupy the left-hand lane? A. Give a right signal after entering the roundabout. B. Give no signal on approach. C. Signal left on approach. D. Signal right on approach. The correct answer is D. Signal right on approach. There are times when, due to the size of your vehicle, you'll have to take up part of another lane. If you need to do this, make sure that you use effective observation all around. Be aware that other road users might not understand the reasons for your position on the road. You should signal your intentions and take up your position in good time. Question 102. When do drivers of long vehicles need to straddle lanes? A. When coming to contraflow systems. B. When driving on motorways. C. When they need to avoid braking sharply. D. When they need to avoid mounting the curb. The correct answer is D. When they need to avoid mounting the curb. When you have to straddle the lanes at small roundabouts or junctions, always signal in good time. Be alert for inexperienced road users who may, without realizing, put themselves into a dangerous position. Question 103. What should you do as you approach these roadworks? A. Check your mirrors. B. Flash your headlights. C. Select a higher gear. D. Use your endurance brake. The correct answer is A. Check your mirrors. Before changing direction, you should check your mirrors for any vehicles that may be overtaking. An overtaking driver or rider might not have seen the narrowing road ahead. You should let them get past before you move across to the right. Question 104. What should you do when you're overtaking a motorcyclist in very windy conditions? A. Allow extra room. B. Keep close as you pass. C. Overtake slowly. D. Sound your horn as you pass. The correct answer is A. Allow extra room. Cyclists and motorcyclists may become unbalanced by your vehicle passing too close. Plan ahead and give them plenty of room. Remember that your large vehicle can cause a vacuum, which will suck the rider towards it. The noise and close proximity of your vehicle can also startle them and could cause them to swerve suddenly. Question 105. You're driving behind two cyclists. They're approaching a roundabout in the left-hand lane. What should you expect them to do? A. Go in any direction. B. Go straight ahead. C. Turn left. D. Turn right. The correct answer is A. Go in any direction. When following cyclists onto a roundabout, be aware that they might not take the exit you expect them to. Cyclists approaching in the left-hand lane may be turning right. They may not have been able to get into the correct lane due to heavy traffic, so give them room. Question 106. What should you do before you start to overtake a lorry? A. Change quickly to a higher gear. B. Check your position in the left-hand mirror. C. Close right up before pulling out. D. Look well ahead for uphill gradients. The correct answer is D. Look well ahead for uphill gradients. Plan your overtaking carefully. The weight of your vehicle, combined with the restrictions imposed by a speed limiter, is likely to make your vehicle lose speed on uphill gradients. You should take this into consideration before attempting to overtake another moving vehicle. Question 107. You're in the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway. Why should you check for any vehicles in the right-hand lane before you overtake? A. They may accelerate briskly in front of you. B. They may be moving faster than you. C. They may cut in sharply behind you. D. They may move back to the middle lane as you move out. The correct answer is D. They may move back to the middle lane as you move out. Vehicles overtaking in the right-hand lane may return to the center lane when they've finished their maneuver. You should look for this before starting to pull out. Don't rely on the size of your vehicle to claim right of way. Question 108. What does it indicate if you see white lights on a vehicle at night? A. It's ahead of you and braking. B. It's facing towards you. C. It's moving away from you. D. It's stationary and facing away from you. The correct answer is B. It's facing towards you. At night, you can tell whether a vehicle is facing towards or away from you by the color of its lights. Additionally, its brake lights or indicators can give you information about its direction and intentions. This information helps you to make safe driving decisions. Question 109. You're driving at night. Why should you ensure that all your lights are clean and working correctly? A. So that other road users can see the size of your vehicle. B. So that the intensity of street lighting can be reduced. C. To allow following drivers to use dipped headlights. D. To prevent the battery from overcharging. The correct answer is A, so that other road users can see the size of your vehicle. As well as headlights and tail lights, large vehicles have additional lighting to help other road users see the size of the vehicle. All lights should be clean and working properly. Driving at night when your vehicle is poorly lit is dangerous for you and other road users. Question 110. You're driving in fog. When should high-intensity rear fog lights be used? A. When visibility falls below 100 meters, 328 feet. B. When visibility falls below 200 meters, 656 feet. C. When visibility falls below 300 meters, 984 feet. D. When visibility falls below 400 meters, 1,312 feet. The correct answer is A. When visibility falls below 100 meters, 328 feet. In dense fog, large vehicles are no more visible than any other. If visibility falls below 100 meters, 328 feet, use your fog lights to help other drivers see you. Question 111. You're driving in fog that's starting to clear. When should you switch off your high-intensity rear fog lights? A. When visibility is more than 10 meters, 32 feet. B. When visibility is more than 100 meters, 328 feet. C. When visibility is more than 50 meters, 164 feet. D. When visibility is more than 75 meters, 246 feet. The correct answer is B. When visibility falls below 100 meters, 328 feet. Switch off your fog lights when fog starts to clear and visibility improves to more than 100 meters, 328 feet. Don't leave your fog lights on when the fog has cleared because they can cause unnecessary glare or distraction for other drivers. Question 112. In fast traffic, when should you leave a 2-second gap between your vehicle and the one in front? A. When it's raining and the roads are wet. B. When the roads are dry. C. When the roads are icy. D. When you're driving in fog. The correct answer is B. When the roads are dry. In good dry conditions, you should leave a 2-second gap between your vehicle and the one ahead. When the weather is bad, you'll have to keep a greater distance because it will take you longer to stop. In wet weather, it will take up to twice the distance. In icy weather, this could increase to 10 times as far. Question 113. What should you do if you see a lorry too close behind when you're driving in traffic on the motorway? A. Briskly accelerate away from the vehicle behind. B. Increase your distance from the vehicle in front. C. Switch your rear fog lamps on and off. D. Touch the brake pedal sharply to show your brake lights. The correct answer is B. Increase your distance from the vehicle in front. The faster the traffic is moving, the greater the distance that needs to be kept between vehicles to maintain safety margins. If you find another vehicle driving too close behind you, gradually reduce your speed to increase your distance from the vehicle in front. You'll then be able to brake more gently when you need to, reducing the likelihood of the lorry behind running into the back of your vehicle. Question 114. What should you do if an overtaking vehicle pulls in too close in front of you? A. Flash your headlights. B. Overtake when you can. C. Slow down. D. Stay close behind. The correct answer is C. Slow down. Always maintain a safe following distance from the vehicle in front. If another vehicle pulls into the gap, slow down to re-establish a safe following distance. Following too close is dangerous and places you and other road users in unnecessary danger. Your view of the road ahead will be seriously reduced and you won't be able to see or plan effectively. Question 115. You're driving at 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour on a dry, level road. What gap should you leave between your vehicle and the one in front? A. At least a 1-second gap. B. At least a 2-second gap. C. 1 vehicle length. D. 2 vehicle lengths. The correct answer is B, at least a 2-second gap. Tailgating, travelling too close to the vehicle in front, is very dangerous because it doesn't give you enough distance to stop safely. Leave at least a 2-second gap in good conditions and increase this to 4 seconds in wet weather. Question 116. You're following a large vehicle. How can you improve your view ahead? A. Drop further back. B. Move over to the left. C. Move over to the right. D. Overtake as soon as you can. The correct answer is A. Drop further back. Staying well behind the vehicle in front will improve your view of the road ahead. This will give you more time and room to react to hazards. Use the 2-second rule to make sure you're not too close. Don't move out to the right, as this could put you into the path of an oncoming vehicle or obstruct smaller vehicles that wish to overtake. Question 117. What must you be certain of before you overtake at night? A. The road's well lit. B. There's an overtaking lane. C. You can see well ahead. D. You're outside a built-up area. The correct answer is C. You can see well ahead. It's more difficult to judge speed and distance accurately in the dark. Darkness can also hide bends and dips in the road. Plan ahead and be sure that you have time and space to complete your overtaking safely. Question 118. How much longer will your stopping distance be in snow than in dry weather? A. 5 times as long. B. 4 times as long. C. 10 times as long. D. Twice as long. The correct answer is C, 10 times as long. In icy or snowy weather, your stopping distance can increase by up to 10 times. Because snowy weather increases the distance needed to stop, you must look further ahead and leave an increased safety margin. Question 119. How should you slow down or stop when you're driving on an icy road? A. Always use the retarder. B. Brake gently and in good time. C. Change down through the gears. D. Use the parking brake in a rapid on and off movement. The correct answer is B. Brake gently and in good time. When you have to slow down or stop, you should always avoid harsh, late braking. This is particularly important on icy or slippery roads, where you need to brake gently and in good time to make sure you keep control of your vehicle. Question 120. How should you use the brakes in icy weather? A. After using the gears first. B. By pumping the brake pedal. C. Gently. D. Suddenly. The correct answer is C. Gently. In poor conditions, all braking should be controlled in good time and when travelling in a straight line. Try to avoid braking and turning at the same time. Look well ahead to assess and plan your actions. Question 121. When should you use the 2-second rule? A. To keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front in queuing traffic. B. To keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front when conditions are good. C. To keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front when it's icy. D. To keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front when it's raining. The correct answer is B. To keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front when conditions are good. Use the 2-second rule when conditions are good and you're driving on roads carrying faster-moving traffic. Choose a fixed reference point, and when the vehicle ahead passes, that point say to yourself, "Only a fool breaks the 2-second rule." If you reach the object before you finish saying this, you're too close and you need to drop back and check again. Question 122. Why is it dangerous to follow a large goods vehicle too closely? A. Your brakes will overheat. B. Your cab will fill with fumes. C. Your engine will overheat. D. Your field of vision will be seriously reduced. The correct answer is D. Your field of vision will be seriously reduced. Staying back will increase your view of the road ahead. This will help you to see any hazards that might occur and will allow you more time to react. It will also allow the driver in front to see you in their mirrors. Question 123. What time gap should you leave when you're following a vehicle on a wet road? A. At least 4 seconds. B. At least 1 second. C. At least 3 seconds. D. At least 2 seconds. The correct answer is A. At least 4 seconds. Wet roads will increase the time it takes you to stop. 4 seconds is the minimum gap you should leave on wet roads. This is double the gap you should normally keep from the vehicle in front on good, dry roads. Question 124. The entrances to roundabouts are often slippery when they're wet. How should you deal with this hazard? A. Brake in good time. B. Stay in the left-hand lane. C. Stop before emerging. D. Use the handbrake. The correct answer is A. Brake in good time. The entrances to roundabouts are often worn. This can make the surface slippery, especially when it's wet. You should plan your approach and brake in good time. Question 125. You're driving in wet conditions. What should you try to do before braking? A. Make sure that all spray suppression equipment is working. B. Make sure that the gear lever is in neutral. C. Make sure that there's no mist on your rearview mirrors. D. Make sure that your vehicle is travelling in a straight line. The correct answer is D. Make sure that your vehicle is travelling in a straight line. If you need to brake when the road surface is wet, do so while your vehicle is travelling in a straight line. This will reduce the risk of skidding. As a professional driver, you should routinely brake in good time so that you don't brake and change direction at the same time. Question 126. You're driving a fully laden vehicle approaching an uphill gradient. What will happen if you start to overtake? A. The weight of the load will help you go faster. B. You'll be able to get past more quickly. C. You'll need to use a high gear. D. You'll take longer to get past. The correct answer is D. You'll take longer to get past. Always plan well ahead before overtaking. Take into consideration the size of your vehicle and whether there's a gradient ahead. The load on your vehicle will slow you down on an uphill gradient. It may be better to wait until you're on the level before trying to overtake. Question 127. And there's a strong side wind. Which vehicle is particularly at risk? A. A motorcycle. B. A road tanker. C. A sports car. D. A taxi. The correct answer is A. A motorcycle. Motorcycles can be very vulnerable to strong side wind. Allow extra room when overtaking them in windy weather. Check your near side mirror while alongside and before moving back to the left. Question 128. You're driving at a speed of 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour, in good dry conditions. What distance should you stay behind the vehicle in front? A. At least 23 meters, 75 feet. B. At least 36 meters, 118 feet. C. At least 53 meters, 175 feet. D. At least 73 meters, 240 feet. The correct answer is C. At least 53 meters, 175 feet. You should always leave a safety margin between your vehicle and the one in front. This gap will give you a better view of the road ahead. It will also allow you time to react if the traffic in front changes speed or direction. Question 129. You're driving on a motorway after it's been raining heavily. What should you do if spray is being thrown up, causing poor visibility? A. Keep a 2-second gap. B. Reduce your separation distance. C. Remove spray suppression equipment. D. Use dipped headlights. The correct answer is D. Use dipped headlights. When visibility is poor or the road is wet, leave a greater separation distance, at least a 4-second time gap from the vehicle in front. You should also reduce speed and use dipped headlights.